Good evening, folks. It's Sunday, the 23rd of July, 2023. The channel is called Down and Out in Torrevieja with me, Delta Mike. And this program is called That Was the Week That Was. A summary of the happenings in the life of a tramp living in Torrevieja in Spain. And my battles to get back to the real world and real life. This is my weekly show where I summarise the week's events and give you a few pointers to some of the videos that I've released in the last week. It's been an eventful week. I'd like you to stay with me to the end. But for now, let's start as is traditional. Cheers. Cheers to you. In particular, cheers to the subscribers. All 108 of you. Cheers. Did you hear that? This time last week, there were 80 of you. By the time I released the program on the Wednesday, I was late again this week. By the time I released this on Wednesday, I think there was 83 or 84 of you. But now there's 108. That's incredible. So cheers. Cheers to you guys. As I said last week, I think this is going to become a thing now. If you're feeling left out by that, by me saying cheers to the subscribers, we've got the solution. It's really easy. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button. Wait a few seconds, rewind the video, play it back, and when I say cheers to the subscribers, that will include you. How about that? It's easy, isn't it? Please consider it. You don't have to. It's not vital. It's not a matter of life and death. But if you've seen a couple of, if you've seen 2, 3, 4 of my videos, don't subscribe on your first watch. Nothing worse than subscribing and then unsubscribing afterwards. But if you've seen a few videos, if you think that you'd like to stay up to date with my progress back to the real world, and sometimes the occasional back step as things go wrong, if you want to stay up to date, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and the like button and sharing those videos out there. At the moment, I'm in the middle of a push to try and get to 200 subscribers by August the 14th. So it's going to be a difficult thing to achieve. But I think with your help, we can do it. So we're going to be, over the next week, I'm going to be releasing little videos advising on suitable videos to share out there. But you can make up your own mind. In particular, the channel introduction. That was a good video to start with if anybody does want to push a video out there to friends and family and say, hey, look what I found, look at this guy. That would help. That would help tremendously, and it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, folks, I guess we better begin. We begin with the beginning. Monday. Monday was one of those days with a bit of a setback. Here's what happened. Sunday midnight, my pay-as-you-go phone package ran out. My gigabytes everything expire, go away, and overnight I'm left with no contact with the world. Shouldn't really be any big deal. It's only for 10 hours or so until I get myself to the shop the next morning. But here's the thing. I paid extra last month. Instead of paying €10 and getting 40 gigabytes, I paid €15 and got 80 gigabytes. And I had somewhere between 20 and 25 unused. And with Labara, my provider, provided you renew within a certain period, those unused gigabytes roll over and should carry on being available to you afterwards. But I couldn't find details of what the terms and conditions are. And here's the thing. If I had 25 gigabytes left over that month, do I want to pay and get another 80 gigabytes when I've already got 25 left over? So what I wanted to do was save €5 and step down back to the €10 package. My thoughts being that, well, I was low on cash. I am low on cash, even lower now. So if I could save a few euros and still have those gigabytes roll over, that's what I would have liked to do. The only info I could find on anything similar was Lebara Australia, and their information says as long as you're renewing on any applicable package, your gigabytes roll over. So I took a gamble, really, without knowing fully what the terms were and what the deal is in Spain. I pushed on and bought the 40 gigabyte package, and my gigabytes disappeared. They didn't roll over. And this has implications for the rest of this month. So as you can imagine, I was mighty gutted, mighty pissed off, we would say in England. And not a good way to start the week. Also with my phone, I was struggling for disk space still. Even though only a few days earlier, was it a week earlier, I'd found an extra SD card. I thought that would give me enough space to get by. So there I was struggling for disk space, so I decided to kind of have a clear out. But the best way to have a clear out, because I had a few unreleased videos from over the weekend, if I could join together 2 gigabytes of clips and then save the resultant video as a compressed video, maybe of a lower resolution and a lower quality, it could maybe take 250 megabytes, so a quarter of a gigabyte instead of 2 gigabytes. So I did that with a few clips and things that I had laying around. The result was that I released a slew of videos on Monday, maybe half a dozen in total. I'm not going to list them here. I'll list them in the description to this video. Down at the bottom where it says down and out in Torrevieja with Delta Mike, and next to it says more. You click that more and it expands out with full details, and I'll put a list of all of the videos from this week in that description. So guys, Tuesday. Tuesday I released a video taken over the weekend of a walk, a dog walk that I did, following along a previous walk that I'd done along Los Locos. This one we went further. We went to the end of Los Locos and carried on towards Torrevieja to Playa del Cura. So that video I worked on Monday night and was released on Tuesday morning and released that during Tuesday. And then we went to the park. But while I was there, a couple of things happened. One was a lady that I thought was in a worse position than myself. She turned around and offered me a bowl of meat stew and some bread and some croissants, which was nice. And it surprised me because, as I said, I kind of got the impression that she was in a worse position than me. But there she was with this big bag of food, and you know, she felt generous enough to throw some my way. So that was nice. Also, while I was there, I decided to experiment with a few photo collage apps that I had on my phone. Basically, I wanted to experiment with making better thumbnails for the videos, rather than just letting Google pick at random from a frame within the video and often picking badly. They do actually. They pick 3 and you can go in and choose, or you can make something yourself and upload it. And in particular, like for the dog walk video, I thought it'd be nice to pick out 4 or 6 shots from the day's walk, put them together in a nice collage, and use that as a thumbnail for the video, and have it look more slick and more professional. Otherwise, all of the videos are just going to look like this. They're going to, you know, my face, and nobody wants to see that. So I experimented with the apps that I already had on my phone, and too many of them had too many limitations. One of them did a really great job. I actually used the image, but they force you into a square image. As soon as you change it and want to do like a letterbox shape, you know, a 16 by 9 rectangle. They want you to pay, and I'm not in a position for that. And I'd rather, if there's a free option, I'd rather use that. My needs aren't too specific. Throw 4 pictures onto a canvas, arrange them side by side, perhaps with some kind of stylized borders between them, and save them out in the format that I need. Nothing too fancy. So in the end, I had a look around online and found another app, which I'll now be using from now on, I think. So now I'm going back through and a few of the past videos, I'll be updating the thumbnails to see whether we can improve things and make things look a bit better. And that's going to go hand in hand with some other improvements that I'll get to later in the way that I'm using YouTube now. One thing I will mention that I did Tuesday night with regard to YouTube, I spent an hour going around maybe 10, maybe a dozen or so recent videos, and in each one I went in and added a pinned comment. So when you go into the comments and you see one that sticks at the top, that's a pinned comment. I went in and added pinned comments to the 31-day challenge video, explaining how I'm trying to get from what was 80 subscribers up to 200 by August the 14th. I'm pointing to that video as an explanation of why. And that should prove useful in helping move things forward with the channel. Final thing on Tuesday is overnight, and I did stay up really late because I was late getting this program out, last week's version. So I stayed up more or less all Tuesday night. But I wanted to get that finalised, get that finished and out. And again, I kind of struggled a little bit on the file size again, on the length of the. I talk too much when it's just me and the camera. Apparently I like the sound of my voice too much. Who knew? I always hated the sound of my voice. I think most people do. Not hate my voice, but hate their own voice. Anyway, I got that finalised, I got it uploaded and set to release on a timer. But as I say, I was up late. And then the next morning I had to be up early because then I got a call from one of you guys who just arrived in the country, bearing gifts and going to come round on Wednesday morning. What a superstar, this guy. I said last week that he was going to bring me a 2 terabyte hard drive. The problem I was saying before about running out of storage space on the phone, and I've got an on-the-go cable where I can connect external devices to the phone. Everybody should buy one. Really, listen to me. Go and buy an on-the-go cable, OTG cable. Buy the one with the right connection for your phone, because they'll change your life. If ever you need to type a longer message on your phone, you can connect a real keyboard. Or if you're having difficulty working the screen, you can connect a mouse to your phone. You can connect external hard drives. You can connect USB pen drives. Anything. If it's USB, you can connect it to your phone. And most things will work. OTG cable. Do yourselves a favour, get one. I had one. Owen brought me the 2 terabyte hard drive and I plugged it in and struggled a little bit. There's always a hiccup. The app that I've always used for doing such things in the past, I've used it, it's a file manager called Total Commander. And it's a brilliant file manager, but it has these extensions for doing extra things, and accessing the files on an external hard drive, if it's formatted in the modern way, NTFS, needs this extension. If it was FAT32 or is it called FAT32 extended? If it was those, it would just work, which is what most pen drives are. NTFS needs a separate There goes the dog. NTFS needs a separate little add-on. And this thing, it's always been a paid add-on, but it's always come with like basically an unlimited trial. You basically just use it until you decide to pay. So apparently, in the last couple of years while I've had my eye off the ball, something has changed about that, and they've now got a more strict testing period. Sign up with your email and they'll give you a couple of hours of testing, and then you have to pay. As stated previously, not in a position to. Would love to pay them. I've used their app and it's been a lot of use to me over the years. Once I'm in a position to, I will send them some money. But for now, I had to look around and find some other alternative. And I found an app, I think it's called File Manager Plus. And that just has it all baked in. No add-ons, no payments, no messing. It's a donationware software. It's released for free, and they ask for donations if you're in a position to and have a mind to. So again, it's obviously that's what I'm using now. It's going to be of a lot of use to me. When I'm in a position to, I will send them a few euros, which I always recommend. If ever you're using free software that where the developer is looking for a donation, open source software, things like that, it's always worth giving the dev a few pounds, euros, dollars. I used to make a little bit of software myself once upon a time. We'll talk about that another time. So Owen arrived and he brought the hard drive, and later on I made that work. But it's not all he brought. This guy came really bearing gifts. I mean, the hard drive he bought specifically for me. I mean, that cost a decent wedge of money. But he also brought a tablet, a Kindle Fire, fairly old. Had a little bit of work to do with it. I had to. Well, it was best to clear it off, do a full factory reset, then update it, and then I installed the Google Play Store. Amazon tablets they use a kind of a cut down version of Android. It's Android with all the Google stuff removed. But I like to have the Google Play Store available. And if you know where to look, and if you know what you're doing, and if the wind's in the right direction, you can just about make the Google Play Store install, and then you can install apps from the Google Store. And there's a far greater choice on the Google Store than there is on the Amazon Store. A greater choice and a greater quality. Now, the first time I tried, I messed up, and I made the whole tablet unstable. I thought I was going to have to do another factory reset and start all over again. But I managed to uninstall all the broken remnants, and I found an article that explained more clearly what to do with better links, which I followed, and eventually got that working as I want it. Still some disappointments. Some apps that I want won't work, even from the Google Play Store, won't work on that particular hardware. I think because it's so old. Which is a shame. It means I have to go looking for alternate apps again, but that's life, isn't it, with technology? You've got to find workarounds. But he didn't stop there, Owen. That's not all he brought. Not just the 2 terabyte hard drive and the Kindle Fire. He also brought a watch. And that's not all. He brought some wireless headphones. Truly wireless. You know, the 2 in-ear ones. I've had wireless headphones, so-called wireless headphones before, that go in your ears, but then there's one wire between the two earpieces. These are just the totally separate ones. Like, do they call them AirPods? The Apple ones? AirPods, AirBuds, I don't know, something like that. I haven't used them yet, but they're fully charged and ready. And that wasn't all he brought. He brought a few other things. So yeah, as I say, he brought 2 books. Just remembered. He brought a pair of scissors. This is kind of my fault, I guess. In a video a while back, I said I'd lost a tiny pair of little nail scissors that I use for trimming the beard. I said I lost it, and I was struggling a little bit, as I am again now actually, but not because I've lost them. But I drink a cup of coffee and find coffee at the bottom of the beard here. It finds a way around and through. Now I had lost my scissors in the tent. I knew they were in there, but I couldn't find them for the life of me. And I'd mentioned this in a video, and I don't know, maybe 2 weeks later I found them, but it was too trivial to kind of mention, or I thought so. And he kind of looked at it and he remembered this, and so he brought me a little pair of scissors. So I appreciate that. You know, it's good to have a little backup thing anyway, because there's a saying amongst preppers: 2 is 1 and 1 is none. If you've got one of something, it can just break, it can just stop working, it's gone, you got nothing. If you've got 2, then something can break and you've still got 1. I mean, the true meaning of the phrase really is that even 2 is not enough, because 2 is 1 and 1 is none. You know, you could easily have 2 little slips, or have 1 break and misplace 1, but that's a whole other. You're not here for prepping advice and survivalist stuff. And I'm not the guy for that anyway, for telling you about it. I've got a slight prepper mindset, but not, you know, I'm not a doomsday prepper or anything daft like that. Just the Boy Scout kind of be prepared thing. And the one final thing he brought, and you got to bear in mind, guys, he's arriving at like, was it 10 or 10:30 in the morning? But Eli's had a long walk. He's walked from more or less the other side of Torrevieja to get here, bringing this stuff. So he wanted a cold drink when he got here, and I'm always open to the possibility of a cold drink. So he got himself a can of cold beer, and he brought me a bloody litre bottle of this stuff. It's a little bit early, but it was a bloody hot day, hot morning. So, always appreciate a cold drink. Take it whenever I can, because, well, historically I would say I don't get them too frequently. At the minute, I'm not going to say they're flowing thick and fast, but I've had a couple recently, yeah. Thanks to you guys, and some of my generous neighbours around me. People have been good. You guys have been fantastic, and in fairness, so are the neighbours on the whole. Okay. So on the Wednesday when I released the that was the week that was. It did well. It was doing really, really well through the day and the evening. But then we get to kind of night and things slow down, and everyone's in bed and nobody's downloading it, nobody's watching it. And the next day, YouTube just give up on it. And I thought, well, to give it a bit of a boost, to try and just get things going again, I would take like I did last week, take the first 5 minutes and put that out as a separate standalone video, and link to the main video when anyone finishes. You know, in the pinned comment, just say, hey, this is an excerpt from there. Click here and go watch the full video. And that you know, a lot of people, quite a few people watched the 5-minute excerpt, and some will have clicked through to the full program. So that kind of got things ticking again. But what I also did, I took an excerpt I took a clip from that from the full program. That was the week it was. The thing I just did at the start here, I did for the first time last week, the cheers to the subscribers. And if you're feeling left out, we've got the solution. Click the button, rewind, and when I say cheers to the subscribers, it'll include you. Well, I did that for the first time last week, and I clipped that. I took that out and released that as a short. And that did quite well. Not in terms of overall numbers. I mean, it didn't do bad. but we jumped instantaneously from 95 subscribers to 99. And in a way, that kind of ruined the rest of the day. I don't mean that in a bad way. Sitting on 99, expecting at any minute it could click over to 100 subscribers. And it kind of didn't. So after a couple of hours, I did a quick video saying, hey, we're on 99, we're looking for Mr. or Mrs. 100. It could be you. And I released that. And, you know, just a silly, fun little thing. And later that evening, we got number 100. That was good. But it didn't last. You see, through Thursday, the weather had been quite changeable. And I'd been looking at the Google Weather app, which if you've been around here any length of time, you'll know that, I mean, it's not just the Google Weather app, but these guys could do better. For example, if you're predicting 2 hours of thunder and lightning with rain, you might want to mention that there'll be more than 0 millimeters of rain that day. You know? If you then remove your prediction of thunder and lightning, and then we get thunderstorms, and then you add on and come back in and add 4 hours of thunder and lightning once it starts raining, you're not really doing a prediction, are you? You're not really doing a forecast. Here I go, I'm going into full rant mode, aren't I? That's not how forecasting works. Oh, it's raining now, we'll predict rain. So anyway, I released with hindsight, probably a little bit whiny video bitching about the deficiencies of the Google Weather app. Just the obvious stuff. Like if it's raining now and you're saying that for the next 4 hours it's going to be thunder and lightning, don't have your summary for the day be scattered showers, because that's just bullshit. That's just ridiculous. Just things like that. Predicting thunder and lightning and rain, but predicting less than 1% of 1 millimeter of rain for the day. It's just crazy. It wouldn't take much logic to put something in place that says if this, then that. If thunder and lightning and rain, then don't be saying 0 millimeters. Stuff like that. Anyway, so you can tell it's a pet peeve, can't you? It annoys the hell out of me. Because it's not difficult to do better. So my video was maybe a little bit too long for what it was and a bit too ranty. And I think some of the people who'd signed up that day on the basis of cheers to the subscribers, let's go and get 100, blah blah, they've maybe not even realised what type of channel they were watching. This is why I say to people, don't subscribe after watching one video. You don't know what the channel's about. That one video might just be off topic. So Mr. 100, whoever, or Mrs. 100, whoever he or she was, it might not have been them, but one of those 100 left, one of those 100 went away. So that cut short my celebrations, and I spent most of the next day waiting for Mr. 100 to come back again, or to be replaced by a new Mr. or Mrs. 100. But all of that skips some of the events that were still happening Thursday. Because you guys, you fantastic, wonderful people, some of you guys turned up at the camp. So we'd had Owen here on Wednesday, bringing hard drives and tablets and wireless headphones and etc. Now we had another bunch of people, another couple arrived with a shopping trolley, not a supermarket shopping trolley, you know, the old lady shopping trolley, the handle and wheels and kind of shopping bag on wheels. And they brought this thing, and they'd got gosh, a bottle of water, I think a big bottle, 8 litre bottle of water, I think. A bag of dog food, the 4 or 5 kilogram bag of dog food. A big old bag of dog biscuits. Oh, a case of beer, 12 cans of beer that were cold when they set off. Not quite as cold by the time they got here, and even less cold by the time they got drunk. And there would have been other things that are skipping my mind. There would have been some food, assorted food in a bag on top of everything else. Not just that though, the trolley was for me as well. They left the trolley so that when I go for water, I don't have to have 35 pounds of water on my back, well, on one shoulder, in old Mercadona bags that could break at any moment. So I got a trolley now for taking for water. Haven't done it yet, but I think tomorrow I need to go and get some. So that's incredible. I mean, they arrived unannounced. Oh, there was a bottle of wine as well. And then they thought I wouldn't have a corkscrew. They went and bought one. I already had one, but you know. But it's just wonderful. People's generosity. It's incredible. So that's Harry and Jill. H&G. I don't remember the surname, but they're in the comments section. So if you see a H&G, that's them. And they got a YouTube channel. I'll dig out some details and maybe link to them. Yeah, that's only fair, isn't it? I mean, yeah, that's fair. Fair turnabout, I think. I just checked my notes. One final thing Thursday. I released another clip from last week's programme, from That Was the Week That Was. The part where I talk about treating myself on Friday night. So on Friday the week before, I tried to treat myself by staying awake and watching a YouTube show that I really like and watching it live. For the past few months I've been downloading it. I've been waiting until after it finishes, so basically waiting until the next day, then downloading it. And because the phone uses too much power to have the screen on through the day, or to have it on any kind of brightness where I can see it, and because it's downloading and therefore you can set it going and turn the screen off and it carries on playing, so you listen to just the audio. That's what I've been doing for a few months. And on the Friday that last week's programme was referencing, I'd actually tried to watch the programme live. And it's a programme that's on for 4 or 5 hours, and I'd fallen asleep after 1 hour. And in last week's programme I had a little bit of a mini rant about how streaming, like with Netflix or with YouTube, is actually bad. Your streaming means downloading and throwing away. You download it, and if you want to watch it a second time, you have to download it again. And if you want to watch it a third time, download it again. Your machine is basically downloading it, you watch it, and it throws it away. So when I watched Friday Night Tights and fell asleep after 1 hour, my phone carried on downloading and playing the video for the next 3.5, 4 hours after I was asleep. The next morning I wake up and I think, oh, I want to watch that. I got to go away and download it again. Like I said, I'm on a tight budget, gigabytes wise. This month is going to be incredibly difficult because of what I mentioned about the Monday, with my gigabytes not rolling over when I switch down to a smaller package. I'm already, just to give you an idea, so I paid for 40 gigabytes on the Monday, and here we are on Sunday, and I've used 15 of those gigabytes. More than a third, less than a half of all my gigabytes used in 1 week. That's where we're at. It's going to be a struggle this month to stay within my limits. I'm probably going to have to, the video that you're watching now, I might have to overly compress and maybe release at a stupidly small form factor, a stupidly small resolution. Certainly smaller than I was last month when I had gigabytes to spare. I'll try not to be too harsh with cutting back on things like that, but something is going to have to give somewhere. But as I was saying, I took this snippet of this rant about streaming. I cut that, I clipped that, and released it as a standalone video, and it did moderately well. Thursday night, Thursday evening, and into Friday morning. What I hadn't thought of, and this kind of hit me by surprise when this happened. We'll leave that because I haven't said Friday. So Thursday I made that video, released that video, and it did okay Thursday night. But on Friday, it took off. Moderately well. Not massively, but moderately. See, what I hadn't thought, because it's Friday, people were going to be searching for Friday night tights, trying to get ready for the program that's coming to find. You want to find the stream in advance so that you're ready to go when it starts. So all through the day, people were searching for that and looking for that, and because my video mentioned Friday night tights, it was offered to them. And even though it wasn't directly what they were looking for, because the headline, the title is Tramp likes Friday night tights but hates streaming, something like that, it piqued some people's interest and they clicked through. Like I said, moderately to begin with. So Friday was one of these days where I think for too many days on the trot I'd stayed up late at night trying to do things, trying to watch statistics. This whole, are we on 100, are we not on 100? Will we get there, won't we get there? I think it had all taken its toll and I was just tired. So I basically spent the whole day in the tent, even though it's above 40 degrees. But because it's darker in there and I can see the screen properly on the phone, I spent some more time doing thumbnails and updating and tweaking some of the videos. But what I also did, and I think this is going to pay off massively in the next few days, we'll see. But I get the feeling it already is working. We'll come to this momentarily. But what I'm doing is what YouTube call end cards. So when you get to the end of a video and a couple of things pop up on the screen from the channel that you're on, whoever's video you just watched, he has a choice of between 1 and 2 videos from his collection, and he can either specify specific videos, he can specify a random video from a playlist, or he can let YouTube decide on the most appropriate video, or specify his very latest video. So he's got these options for what to promote to people. And also his picture can pop up that becomes a clickable link that gives a subscribe option. So I've been playing with those and adding those to, I don't know, maybe 20 videos in total now out of the 100. Yeah, that's right. I've still got more videos than subscribers. That's not how it's supposed to be, guys. I'm supposed to make a video and have half a dozen people subscribe. I've been grinding them out, making a video and getting 1 subscriber, make a video, get no subscribers. Maybe I'll make a video that gets 2 or 3 subscribers, but then I have 2 or 3 videos that nobody subscribes. Just keep grinding away, keep working at it, improving, learning, hopefully becoming better. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Friday kind of passed like that, and I was kind of hanging on, just waiting in part for Friday Night Tights again. So a week after the previous episode. and I was going to try and watch it again. But all along we've got this, we're on 100 subscribers, are we not on 100 subscribers, have we got enough, have we not got enough? Kind of on tenterhooks. Someone could unsubscribe at any minute and drop back, or are we going to get enough and get there and stay there? Okay, so then we go into Friday night, and you know, I do my usual. Put Friday night tights on and fall asleep. Wake up Saturday. The previous video that I've released about Friday night tights that was proving quite popular on Friday, now on Saturday just did what YouTube does. Video gets popular one day, you hit midnight, nobody's watching it, and it's like YouTube just forget about you the next day and start over. So remembering that this rant about streaming being downloading and throwing away, that had been originally in last week's That Was the Week That Was. I've then taken it and turned it into a, was it 2 or 3 minute standalone clip. I now decided to make something under 1 minute and release it as a short, just to try and, I figured that if I could get 20 or 30 people to watch the short and put something in a pinned comment pointing back to the 2 or 3 minute video, which in turn points back to the full That Was the Week That Was, I thought that might bring a few people in. So I tried it, and yeah, it took off. 30, 40, 50 views of the short, and it seemed to reignite something with the 3 minute version of the, you know, with the medium version. But what I also hadn't counted on was those people that had been looking for Friday night tights on Friday. Well, there was a hell of a lot more of them on Saturday. A hell of a lot more of them. That video that had 20, 30, 40 views on Friday and then died a death Saturday morning, that suddenly took off. And by the end of the day it had 300 views. Headed for 400. Not quite sure where it ended up. But that was extreme. The total number of hours of viewership that I got in total from my videos on Saturday, it was my top day ever, mainly because of that one video. If you think 300 people watching 2 or 3 minutes of a video, that all adds up, and that's all to my good when it comes to YouTube. So yeah, that was unexpected and interesting. But here's the thing, guys, if we can tie together a couple of things that I've said there, putting messages and links in the pinned comment, so when someone watches a video they've got information and there's a link to another video to watch, putting those end cards on, those links at the end of a video to other videos. So suddenly I've got 300 people walking in through the front door to watch a video, and they're not just watching that video, I'm finding that a lot of my past videos are suddenly getting watched. And I think it's those end cards. I think people are watching a video to the end and then clicking to see either another video in the playlist or a random video selected by YouTube. It's not random. They select what they think will be the best one based on what YouTube knows about that other person. So I'm thinking I'm hoping I might have turned a corner. We might see a step change. The level that I was at prior to this last week, and now there looks to be some kind of increase, and maybe we'll go onwards and upwards from with a big leap, a big step upwards. That's what I hope. And I'll keep plugging away, making changes, adding features and improving on thumbnails. If I can improve on the beginning of the videos, remarkably you lose 2/3 of your audience in the first 30 seconds. And for a lot of them there's nothing you can do about it. They've clicked on wondering what this video is about, and when they see what it's about, it's just not for them. But there's other people that you lose because you bore them, or you're doing something wrong, or something about your video annoys them. Maybe it's the sound quality. Maybe the wind's blowing in the microphone. Maybe you've over-compressed the video and it's just poor quality. Maybe you just edited it really badly. Maybe you're just boring. All these things you can work on and improve. And I've still got this ahead of me. I've still got a lot of learning to do. Both with the technical skills, but also just with the presentation, just me. Okay guys, so by the close of Saturday, all of that doubt and worry, can we maintain 100, is it going to hold, is it not, what if somebody unsubscribes, takes us back down to 99, that's all gone. By close of play Saturday, we're on 107 subscribers. And as I speak to you now, on Sunday evening, we're on 108. We've still got a long way to go to get to 200 by August the 14th. That's the target. We've got to do it to get that live stream planned and sorted. But it's a major step up. We started the week on 80. We're now on 108. That's incredible. That's massive. I haven't worked out a specific, what's that, about 35%? That would be my guess. Just did that in my head there. Maths, you see. I told you about maths. Yeah. I'm a dick. Okay. Sunday, that's today. And already it's been an incredible day. I mean, obviously I spent a good chunk of it preparing this, and now actually filming this. And this evening I've got to try and splice it all together and cut out all the bad bits where Tina interrupted. And other people interrupted. We just had 2 people walk through the middle of the camp trying to collect firewood. And that's, you know, I don't own the land, it's not mine, so they're free to do so. We just got in the way a little bit. The other thing today, if you remember Mark and Jeff that I told you about, they run a YouTube channel, Torrevieja channel. They dropped by and brought, they brought me a load of water. 3 8-litre bottles. And a big bag of dog biscuits to go with the ones that we got a couple of days ago from the other guys. But they also brought a Bluetooth speaker, which is and a cable to go with it, USB cable, and a ground sheet, which we'll make use of, either in the bottom of the tent or maybe maybe I can make some kind of shaded area for Tina, like a mini tent, a mini pergola. That's the word, isn't it? Where you just have the roof. Maybe I can fashion something to make shade for Tina through the day. Keep the sun off her so she doesn't just have the one choice of under the one bush there. I don't know. But they brought various other bits and pieces, a quiz book and a couple of pens and oh, before they came, I had a visit from one of the locals who brought a little bag with a couple of loaves of bread, which is okay this time. I'm not overwhelmed with bread. I haven't got too much. I was actually running out, so that's useful. But he also brought a bag of clothes, which there looks to be 3 or 4 decent t-shirts in there. I think there's a pair of shorts that might be a little bit too big for me nowadays. Probably, from the look of them, would have been my size at the beginning of this adventure. Yeah, but I've lost a bit of weight since then. I haven't measured, but I think I'm below a 30-inch waist. Might be 28 now. Somewhere around there anyway. 28, maybe 30 inch. Certainly not the 38 or 40 inch that well, 36, 38 was my typical clothing. Depending on the cut, sometimes I'd end up wearing something that labelled itself as 40. Certainly not that anymore. Certainly not that anymore. But yeah, so 2 visits just today. And that guy, the guy who came first thing, in the bag of food, in with the bread, cold can of beer. 10 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do? If you don't drink it straight away, it's no longer a cold can of beer. On the flip side, opening a can of beer at 10 in the morning. So I waited a little bit. Kind of compromised. Opened it just before 10:30, maybe 20 past, something like that. Didn't want it to get too warm. Didn't want to lose that coldness. It's the whole point of a cold, refreshing beer. But it was a bit early. It was a bit early. But that brings you up to date, I think, guys. That brings you up to date. We jumped over the week from 80 subscribers to 108. I've had my ups, I've had my downs. Oh, we got another rip in the tent yesterday. But I found the cause. It's a little lady I live with. She has a habit of laying down on the, like next to the tent and actually on the bottom edge of the tent. And when she gets up, she'll put her foot on the edge of the tent. And I think that's why we've now had 3 rips in the bottom, towards the bottom. Kind of, you know, 3 or 4 inches above the very bottom of the tent. They're all little. They've all patched well with duct tape. I've got to try and stop her from doing that though. Don't want. The first time we get a rip that I don't notice, and it expands, that'll be bad. But I'm glad I caught her doing it, because now I know what it is. I'm not as worried about the tent falling, you know. When the first 2 happened and I didn't know how or why, I was worried that the tent was just going to like decompose. Now I saw how it happened. I'm less worried about that. But I think that's everything now. That's more or less everything, guys. I got to get this cut together, spliced together, cut out the bad bits, and see how much bandwidth I can spare to get it to you. Because I'm doing this slightly earlier on a Sunday, there's even a chance I'll get this out this evening. You never know. So instead of having to wait while Wednesday, you might actually be getting this on the day it was filmed. I don't know, that'll be a challenge. But guys, cheers to the lot of you, whether you're subscribed or not, for stopping by, especially if you've stayed to the end. Especially if you've stayed to the end. That's fantastic. Cheers. Bit of grass. Okay folks, Delta Mike out.